So, starting this off, headed into Wheeler Basin. Hopefully tell some of my history, family's history regarding the basin. I believe most of the time that we came in was from 4th of July trailhead. Occasionally some of the family came in from Monarch Lake. I don't believe anybody's come in from Junco Lake. So I kind of wanted to do this. It's been, I don't know, probably 30 years since I've been in there, since we lost the claim. So hopefully I can explain some of that as we go. But so originally planned on just having my wife drop me off and camp somewhere around just a little after Junco Lake. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, versus really trying to make any miles. So just kind of looking for something here. See what we can find. This is dispersed camping up to the wilderness borderline. A lot of dead tree stuff around, so it's gonna be interesting finding a spot. But anyway, more history to follow. So coming up into Meadow Creek, I think I'm gonna try to find a place here. So I guess to start with, Alfred T. Wheeler, who the basin was named after, was my great-grandfather. And he had 2 daughters, I think 4 grandchildren, and I think 9 great-grandchildren. So he staked a claim back in the 20s, 30s, back when anything radioactive could be worth a lot. Him and his partner staked the mining claim in there. I believe there was some claim jumping involved. I don't know by who. I know his partner's family, which is Bennett, the Bennett family, had some conflicts, I guess, issues. I don't remember. I don't know those. Anyway, Bennett went on to find a uranium deposit, and his family mined that for quite a while. Great-grandfather couldn't afford to patent the claim, so as part of an unpatented claim, you have to continually maintain it, which means that every year my family was going in, mine the clay of the claim, clear the trail. So I guess I'm gonna look for something, a spot here, and I guess I'll continue with the story next. Coming up the Caribou Pass Trail, getting to Timberline, able to look out over the valley. I believe Fraser is somewhere down in there, probably in the clouds. Behind the tree here can't see it very much even without that tree. The Meadow Creek Reservoir. Heading on up. I can't, not in as good a shape as I used to be. Don't think I can be doing this steep of a climb and try to video and chat at the same time. So, looks like we're getting up to the divide. Hopefully be able to go over Caribou Pass there. Ranger was telling me about a little goat trail that leads down into Caribou Lake, so I wouldn't have to go across the divide part, but that's kind of where I wanted to go. So I think I'll see when I get there, but anyway, onward. So there's Meadow Creek Reservoir down in. I think we're about 1,300 feet up from that. The Junco Head trailhead's just a quarter mile, maybe half mile beyond that. I can't actually make it out where it is. But regular Indian Peaks. Rained a good bit last night, 3 or 4 hours, so everything's still pretty wet. But as you can see, nicer day today. Originally, I thought we were going to go through that pass, but looks like we're going up just to the left of that peak there. Skirt around, I believe that is the divide right there. I believe we're getting a first look into the lower end of the Wheeler Basin, which is down in there. This is the trail. I'm almost up to the divide trail, or the trail where it's on the divide. Swing over to Repo Pass and down in. This heads off. I'd have to look it up. Heads off and around that direction towards Berthoud Pass, I believe, for the CDT. But anyway, I'm getting up to, I believe, that this trail here leading off is the trail that he was talking about with being a goat trail that would lead down into Dorothy Lake, but it seems to be heading off down into the valley. And maybe it was a previous trail, because this is a trail that came up. So I'm not so sure about that one. It doesn't show up on all trails or my Garmin. I have to look that up. Talk about this a little bit more when I get down there, but there's a ravine. Little ravine. It's a landmark for where to cut off of the Repo Trail to pick up. I don't even know if it's called the Wheeler Basin Trail, but maybe it is. But yeah, that's where we take off. Talk about it more when we're down there. Okay, looking down into the Dorothy Lake. As you can see on the slide over there, switchbacks of the trail. You'd be heading across there and go down that way. Looking forward to this trail that I've always looked at to see what it's like, and hanging off the edge of a cliff, and hopefully we don't have to turn around, go back, and then try to go up and over. We'll see what we find. Yeah, it gets a little narrow, at least in one spot there. I'll just take it easy getting around 3 points, using 3 points. But it seems to widen up a little bit here. So we'll see if that continues or if we get more narrow spots. Yeah, like Dorothy here. Lake that I've never come up to, because always did. We were always just going into the basin. Never try to really sightsee. I was doing climb maintenance. Nice. So looking back where we came down from, cutting across the Caribou Pass Trail. I'm actually glad I did that. But coming down the switchbacks now, I believe that's Coyote Park down in there. I don't know if that's the official name or if it's just a name that I grew up knowing it as. There also used to be a cabin down here when I was young. That by the time we called it the Slide Cabin. I don't know if it was because it was close to rock slides or whatever, but we used to stop for lunch there. Then we'd later on down, we'd go actually on down further to have lunch there. See where I'm gonna have lunch. Not sure. So before I get off the switchbacks, a little story about Hitty Wheeler saying that on one of these switchbacks, and we believe it was on the lower part, there was a care kit in case you get stuck over here. And we don't know what was in it. I remember looking several times, each switchback, looking around, moving some rocks, see if there's anything there. Never found it, so have no idea if that exists. It was probably in middle 10, so after 80 years, it's probably disintegrated and gone. So it probably doesn't exist now. Yeah, lined up with the ravine. Doesn't look familiar other than this bog here. I thought we always had to find our way around. So if I can, I hear the waterfall on over. I need to find that. Yep, just going across the bog. There's a little waterfall. We usually go up above. I want to see about crossing over there. Rather than trying to cross right here. I guess there's other ways across, but let's see about getting across. And then there used to be a tree on the trail that had a W carved in it. I did not find it. I didn't expect to see it still here after this many years. So anyway, this, as you see nothing, is the beginning of the Wheeler Basin Trail. Now the tricky part to getting across falls, as I remember, if you start heading this way, there's no real trail to see until you get it, I think, on into the pine trees, spruce trees. We'll see. Had to look around, but I found a blaze. Sorry, camera doesn't work zooming in. So, I think I found I was trying to stay up high, didn't want to drop down too much. But anyway, so headed that way. See if we can follow some blazes and cairns. Finally seen some evidence of our trail maintenance, so looks like I am on the right track here. Lost my way back there. I knew it had to come across this rock face, all the way underneath it, but I kept thinking I was losing elevation and didn't want to do that, so going up and down towards the face. Finally found a couple more blaze marks and now what looks like part of the trail. And with some man-made evidence. So, on we go. Wasn't planning on showing this, but since the Forest Service is taking claim to it, it's no longer our property because it lost the claim. Wanted to point out the name of the cabin. The name's still there, kind of readable. And as you see, Forest Service property. So don't be breaking into it. No need anyway. I thought we had some shutters on that. Doesn't look like we do now. But so A.T. Wheeler, his partner, and his crew actually built this. I don't remember when or what year. I suspect it was back in the 30s. But this is where they stayed to be able to work the claim, have some place to stay. We did the same all the way up to mid-90s. But yeah, the locks, I suspect the locks have been changed to the Forest Service. There's a lot of debris here, and this area back here was really pretty flat. So what I'm suspecting is the 2013 floods that we had on the Front Range actually billowed on over, and that's where we got the landslide over down the canyon. I'm also wondering about the claim itself, which I'll be going up there. Take a look at that, but I'm suspecting that because there was a little footbridge here, right about there. Built very nice, very strong. Was there from the first time I came in until last time I was here. So I'm suspecting flooding took that out. I remember seeing floods up to here, you know, as far as runoff if we were in here early. But yeah, we had even a shower we set up. The tree's down now. With that flat board back in there, we'd set up a tarp around it and had a water tank that was always on the stove with a little spigot. Would fill that up, get that warm, hang it in the tree, and kind of do your own on and off of the water for soaping up and rinsing off. But yeah, the whole vista thing, you used to be able to, from the cabin, maybe I can get back here, from the cabin, be able to see all the vistas. So up in the meadow here, it's a mining claim area. You can see it's an old pit mine, I believe. From what I understand, that one was dug by A.T. Wheeler himself. You can see another one on over there where the taller weeds are growing. plants, weeds for quite a while. Oh, this has changed. I believe that was the pit that we worked. I remember this rock. You can actually see it in Google Earth. There we go. There's one of the bigger pits, a smaller one down there. So, word of warning with these: don't get near them. Things will slough off, and it's a sheer wall. No, it's not a bar. Anyway, sheer wall, and it's just mud. So crawling out's probably next to impossible. We did try to fill in old pits when we were working on others. Tank. Get up to that moraine up there. I believe either that one or the one above it. I believe is the where the airplane engine is. Not sure I can find it, but we'll see what we can do. I was also thinking of heading up into the glacier area itself, where the stream is fed. But we'll see where we go. But as you can see, just an amazing vista. Got nicknames for some of these things. Little house there. And then rock is right there, but I have to take a picture from or video down from the cabin again because you can see on the from the side of it. Anyway, we had some nicknames. There was a. I'll find another picture to compare. It up in the. There was a rock formation, shelf formation that the snow would lay in there, and earlier in the season would actually form a W. We got a kick out of that, but it looks like that's gone. So I'm not sure if that was like the flood again or just as granite degrades, falls off. Anyway, we'll see what we can find. So as I take a break, maybe tell one little story. If you notice the tin roof on the cabin, originally it was like a 2-foot sod roof, and my dad marrying into this, I think they finally got fed up with the dripping and dirt falling as you're sleeping in the bed. So my grandfather was a plumber and had taken a lot of the water heaters that he worked on and replaced. Took those, and then they cut up all the tin from the outside, rolled it and put it into big rolls, and they were going to have it airdropped in. Well, they were to drop it down into the mining claim area, so the day that they were to drop it, they stayed at the cabin, trying to be safe about it. And finally, midday, nothing. They're supposed to come in the morning. Midday, nothing happened, so they went up into the claim area and started working it. And then somebody saw a plane, and they looked up, and questioning each other if the door was open. And they were supposed to come down in, drop, and then fly on out. But they kicked all the tin out, rolls of tin out at, well, whatever it is, coming up over the pass, so 14, 15,000 feet. Just kicked them out and dropped them down. And so everybody ran on down out of the mining claim, but that almost didn't matter because it hit down into the trees. And so they kind of screwed with their plans there, and they ended up packing in the tin that's on there now on pack horses. So some adventures there with just trying to keep the claim going. Well, I ended up going past it. Clear on up at the moraine there. So the story goes, as far as I know, from what I've heard secondhand, is there was a crash up on the other side, just on the other side. And this engine broke loose and rolled all the way down, landing here. And it's pretty much like what I remember. But anyway, so as far as I know, there's no airplane wreck in the basin. Over, but yeah, there's an airplane wreck or something. But I think this may be what they're talking about. That it was the engine of the plane, but not the plane itself. Sorry about the wind, but this is about as far as you can get into the basin. I think that's the Rapo up there. But yeah, glacier that feeds the little stream going down next to the cabin. So I was wondering if this was still here. Gray stuff's the clay that actually was mined. I believe, as I understand, there with the glacier, there was a thorium deposit, or down in a moraine. I guess. And so that there's a layer of this, anywhere from like an inch thick to 2 or 3 feet thick. I think throughout the whole meadow. As I'm climbing up out of Coyote Park, Little Basin's way back there behind the trees. Heading out, 4th of July. Trailhead. Wanted to say just a few more words. That there were a good number of family friends that came in and helped with the mine and the assessment. And I think one of my good friends were 4th generation friends because of this. Well, not because of this, but related to it. So there was a lot of effort that went into maintaining the claim, working the claim. So I'm glad I went in to see it once again.